Thank you for listening to the TTalks.net podcast, the show that brings you information, guidance, and support to entrepreneur-minded individuals like yourself. TTalks.net will give you something to talk about tomorrow. This isn't the daily show, but this is the show where you'll get everything. You'll get a fiesta of a mix with the old and the new. They will give you tips and insights into everyday business, big wins in everyday life. They have a lot to add, from bookkeeping to sales, sales management, and sales training, and daily content for listeners to learn and enjoy. We are here to improve your life and business or sales career. Without any further ado, introducing the dynamic duo, Alex DeLuca and Rafael Rodriguez Jr.
Hello.
Co-host just came in.
Hello. Good evening. It's from Florida to around the world. Just checking in on Biden's address to Congress. Awesome. My name is Alex DeLuca. Once again, welcome back to T-Talks, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, we didn't want to miss our daily show, so I know
Yeah, we
Biden
got
is
on
talking, and as I told my wife that we're going to be competing with Biden audience, but my wife said good luck.
Let's compete with the president. It's all about competition. That guy is reading some script off a teleprompter. I can tell you on T-Talks, this is uncut, unedited, raw, live, non-scripted. You're going to get what you get in this next 30 minutes, whether you like it or not.
Absolutely. And, today's topic is actually a very good topic, and the good news is that we do record this, and we do put certain tags on the video, so I thought it was kind of important to let people know that there's actually three different things that are happening with the SBA. Three big things are happening with the SBA, and I think it was good that we share that information, especially
definitely
for a small business that has been hard hit by COVID-19. And I think it's a great information, and hopefully if there's one that is able to use this information and really get help and get funded, that will be just awesome.
Awesomeness. That would be amazing. So pay attention. We're going to break it down. A lot's going on. SBA loans, grants, government money. This is like, read all about it. Everybody pay attention.
Well, and one of the things about, and so you guys understand the magnitude of how big the SBA has been in the last year, is that they actually have done more loans in the last year that they have had in the last 10 years. So put that into perspective. 10 years of loans into 1 year.
This is episode what, Ralph?
Episode 43.
43. Sorry, go ahead. SBA loans, there's a lot going on. I've never seen anything like this before in my time. Have you?
No, I haven't. Especially, there's a lot of money that's being handed down, and like anything else, information is key. Being in the right place at the right time with the right information is key. And the SBA does ask for, certain information. So, without any further ado, let me talk about the first SBA situation that's happening right now. It has to do with people that actually got the EIDL last year, that they didn't get completely their money, or they got declined due to various reasons. I will tell you that if you got $1,000 or you got 2,000, whatever money if you got some money from the SBA last year and you didn't get nothing afterwards, there's a good possibility that the SBA might have sent an email to you that is inviting you to reapply again. And this is important because what happens is that a lot of times people, if people are like me, I get around probably 3,000 emails on a daily basis, and I have several accounts, and that they're not all necessarily tied in together. So I have to go into one or another, and sometimes if you apply with the SBA, you should have got an email either that you didn't qualify or you did qualify, but the emails started popping up on April, I believe it was April 2nd. Let me just clarify that so we're all people can go ahead and look at check their emails just to make sure that you did receive something from the SBA. The letter was dated April.
Looking for that date there.
Yes.
So this is crazy.
That letter will be from April 4th, and just look for anything that says their SBA application number XXXX, invitation to submit COVID-19 targeted EIDL advanced application. Again, search on your email, whichever email you use to apply, to see if you did get an invitation, and this is an invitation only. And we're going to talk about the other two programs that are out there, but this was specifically targeted for individuals that missed out on last year's SBA loan, and basically you're able to get whatever money you got last year minus $10,000, which is the max that you're able to get. So if you got $1,000,
awesome.
If you got $1,000 last year, you might be entitled to $9,000. There are some criteria that we're going to kind of go over it. But the good news about it is that they're actually going pretty quick. This money, it's taking no more than a week. Once you just hit that, they're basically just having you verify the information that your bank account is correct. They're also going to ask you to put your revenue for the last 2019, 2020, and part of 2021. The criteria is that you have had a minimum of 25%, 25% in an 8-week period starting on March 2nd of 2020. So if you're able to document that you lost more than 30%, those 8 weeks starting on March 2nd, 2020, you're entitled to this money. There's also, if you're located in a low-income community, that will also allow you to participate. If you got the invitation, that means that you have been identified as a potential candidate. So, like I said, check your email, look for an SBA application, and there's a possibility that you may be entitled to whatever money you got last year minus $10,000 to get the difference. And there's an option to actually receive an additional $5,000 if you meet some other criteria. So
There's
this
a lot
is
of money out there. Get the information right. You can reach out to the remote bookkeepers. They're here to answer any questions. Quick shout out to one of our sponsors.
And again, you can this is just the targeted. Not a lot of people know about it, but it is there. You're able to go ahead and apply. The next one, and just real quick, like I said, I just want to kind of go over it. You will be able to. You'll need a copy of your 2019 tax return and your business monthly gross receipt for each month from January 2019 to month to date period, and just show that you lost more than 30% during those 8-week period. They will make you sign a 4506T, which basically is you're allowing the SBA to look into your transcript. So make sure that people understand, do not fudge the number, don't play with the government, don't play with free money. The risk is just too great, and they're putting people in jail for making up numbers.
Oh, all the time you hear about it. No reason to take advantage of the situation.
Absolutely. So that's one. The second one that just came out is called the Restaurant Revitalization.
Revitalization.
The revitalization.
Blah, blah, blah. It's
Fund.
10:15. We start at 6 a.m. here in the
I
East
know.
Coast.
It's
10.
revitalization fund. This is close to.
Yeah, this is huge. You sent me this about an hour ago. I'm reading it. $29 billion COVID aid program begins May 3rd for the restaurants. This is going to help out huge. $1.9 trillion coronavirus aid package. $29 billion of it going directly to the restaurant industry.
And one of the things about it is that, the restaurant industry has been hit real hard when it came to COVID-19.
Oh, yeah. Pretty
due to
sad.
the fact that, a lot of restaurants were closed during this time, and they're actually having problems.
Forced to close by the government.
Yes.
Forced to shut their doors in America. Go ahead.
Thank
Thought
you
I'd
for
throw that out there.
re-emphasizing on that.
Yep. Go ahead.
So, the application is going to start on May 3rd, which is next Monday. You got to make sure that you have your documents in order. Okay. You make sure that you have you have your tax returns done. Make sure you have your valid tax ID number, valid your corporation is active. I mean, these are things that during economic crunch we forget to do certain things, such as just renewing your corporate charter
Right.
within the state, not doing your tax return. They are going to require you to have a 2019 and 2020 information readily available. And when I said readily available, I'm not just saying just make it up. It's just that hopefully you have a POS system that you did. You can go ahead and pull the information. If you apply for the PPP, you're actually there's a formula that they're using to come up with what the number you're going to be able to come up with or be able to receive. And this is going to be huge for a lot of restaurants. Like I said, they've been hurting a lot. There's 22 pages on the program guide. So I know we don't have enough time to go through the whole process, but definitely if you own a restaurant, somebody that owns a restaurant, make sure that that you get that information to them. It's a first come, first serve. Once the money runs out, that's it. It will not be available, but just keep in mind that this is going to be helpful if you got PPP loan 1 and 2. There's a percentage that's going to be deducted. There's a formula for it to come up, but that's again is grant money that is available to restaurant business owners. So make sure you take advantage of more free money that's being provided. And we save free money, but it really is not free money. This is taxpayers' money that has been given back for forcing these restaurants livelihood.
Where's all this money coming from, Ralph?
Taxpayers.
The taxpayers over the last decades and decades. This is where the tax money's going, not only to rebuild our government, our roads, our military, but to pay back America.
Well, and again, make sure you have your information in order, so when you do get in front of that computer and you start filling out the information, that you do have it available. Again, that's some huge
stuff. And Biden, he was touching base on some of these points tonight.
Well, yes, he does want the wealthier to pay more taxes. Now, most Americans, most people will not necessarily look into the breakdown of who pays the most amount of taxes in the United States. Have you ever seen the chart that tells you who pays the most amount of taxes and so on and so forth? Have you ever seen it?
It's been a while, but yeah, I don't know if we looked at it, but yes.
Well, let me just say this, okay? 87% of the U.S. population does not pay enough taxes. So it's almost 90% of taxes collected in the United States is paid by the top 13%.
It's more paid by the top 30%. But yes.
Are you looking at the chart now?
Yeah, I'm looking at some charts and some numbers that we were talking about before. But yeah, no, the 1% of the world, of course, are paying the taxes.
So
how much taxes can you take out of somebody that makes $52,000 a year? The $52,000 a year.
Share that.
They have a couple kids.
Look at the same number.
They have a couple kids, and I'm just thinking on top of my head, off the top of my head, right? So you have a couple kids, dependents, making $50,000 a year, with deductions. Say $1,000 a week, $52,000 a year. Some paychecks can get down to like $900 a W-2. So it's only $100 a week. How much can the government take from somebody making $50,000 a year? How much can the government take from somebody making $5 million a year? It's a huge difference.
Well, and what happens is the following, and again, the top 1%er. The top 1%er. Realistically speaking, I think I might have lost you there. Oh, there you are.
I'm here. You there?
Yeah.
I didn't go anywhere, man. I've been here all night.
So, the moral of the story is that you're asking the same top 13% to pay more taxes, even though they pay almost 90%
all the taxes.
And then the bottom ones are getting tax credit, so the top ones are actually paying the bottom one, but then yet you want them to pay more, and that's why on all these tax, let's tax the rich, let's tax the rich. What happens is that, guess who's the one that gets affected? The middle class is the one that gets affected.
Every time.
They're the ones that don't have the attorneys, the accountants, and the whole army of people that can look into tax codes and say, you know what, this is how I'm going to avoid paying taxes.
And not too many people, unfortunately, look at it like that. Your taxes are a business. Your business is a business. We talked about taxes We're due April 15th or something like that, 14th, whatever. And we said, when did you start doing your taxes for 2022? That was the day before, So, it's all something that me as an entrepreneur and a business owner, I'm coming better every year. But everything is a business.
No, absolutely.
Keep a look at these taxes, man. It's crazy. Who pays what?
Yeah. So according to this, of course, this is 2017. The top 50% of all taxpayers paid 97% of all individual income tax, while the bottom 50% paid the remaining 3%.
And that's 17. That's 3 years. So that gives a good amount of time for those numbers to come in. So that's a pretty solid number.
So the top 1% of taxpayer paid 26.8% average individual income tax, which is 6 times higher than taxpayer in the 50% and the bottom 50%. So the 1% paid 6 times more than
That's
the
crazy.
bottom 50%.
The one that they're paying, I can't, think of how to make that relative, right? They're paying your 4 car payments, your mortgage, and the rental property.
Something like that, yes.
Yeah.
And the top 1%, based on 2017, they're paying an average of 26.8% tax rate. So basically, for every $100, Uncle Sam is making 26.
I saw a meme somewhere that was like how to teach your child or say young kid taxes is go to the ice cream store, scoop 3 ice cream scoops, put them in the bowl, and just go ahead and take 1 scoop away. There's your tax life lesson, kid.
Well, and then the last one, the SBA launches a $5 billion grant for small businesses. And again, we had what we called the targeted. So that was an email that was sent out on April 4th. And then on March 2nd, 2020, again, the same information kind of applies. This is a supplemental targeted advances. Some people might be eligible to the SBA EIDL, the EIDL loan assistant. Check with your local SBA. There's going to be an additional $5,000 grant, almost as close as to the targeted one.
It looks like here, aside from having no more than 10 employees, they must be located in low-income areas and had an economic loss of greater than 50% over an 8-week period since March 2nd, 2020.
So again, this is 50%, whereas the other one was 30%. So a lot of restaurants might benefit from this, as well as the revitalization one. So
and this funding was also included in that new $1.9 trillion coronavirus stimulus law.
Yes, and one of the things that's happening also is the 3600. We're going to start seeing that coming in. Those are the advances on the tax credits. Hopefully in July we might start seeing some of that. So there's a lot of money out there. And I think it was only fair that we share the information. I did have a client of mine that actually sent me and one of the things that happened was that he was actually looking for the PPP. So he put SBA and started searching, and then all of a sudden he saw the SBA with the application. It says, "What is this?" He just found it on Monday, even though
that's awesome.
Even though that email came out on April 4th, like always, you kind of, clean you go through it, you clean it. He didn't pay attention to it, and it was just sitting in there. And all of a sudden, it's like, Rafael, look, do you know anything about this? I go, not really. Send me the email. So he forwarded. And lo and behold, he was identified, and then another client of mine that I had asked if he got the target hit because they didn't get last year's money, and they said that it was they did get they got $1,000, so they actually got $9,000, and their revenue was less than 150,000 for the year. So it's you don't have to be a big corporation to get $9,000. So think about it. You're getting $9,000 to 2020. You made it. You actually gross 150,000. I think they netted around 23 or 24 at $9,000. It's it was a blessing that came in, and they're gonna go ahead and reinvest it right into their company.
That's awesome.
So that's extremely. I mean, I'm excited about them. I went out and sent out an email to a couple of my clients, and I told them, hey, look for an email, see if you got it. If you didn't get it, hey, no problem. If you got it, go ahead and click on it and go through the motion. It's real simple.
Awesome.
And most of the clients already have their monthly revenue already set up, so it's just a click of a button. I put the information in, verify your bank account, and just wait for them to go ahead and process it. In 7 days, you got your money.
It's a beautiful thing.
At
least something's going good in this world.
I'm sorry?
I said at least something's going good in this world of COVID.
We just got not too long ago the stimulus check. A lot of people. I can tell you that there's a couple industries that are doing great, and that I know of. One of them is one of our car dealerships is doing incredibly well. I mean,
they better hurry up before all the cars go out of inventory.
I mean, they literally sold probably 3 times the amount they sold last year during the same time.
That's amazing.
So put things into perspective.
You can make about $600 a week on unemployment with these stimulus checks, man. A lot of cars are going to go flying off the shelves.
Well, and one of my clients is looking for a couple people, and let me tell you, we've been recruiters for a long time, and anytime I put an ad for anybody between $10 to $15 an hour,
impossible right now, brother.
I used to get 200 to 300 applications by the third or fourth day.
Like this. Today, crickets.
Do you know how many applications my client got?
Dude, it's unbelievable.
3 in 2 days. We're talking about going from 100.
Listen, if there are any small business owners that are watching this, go protest and say, I can't fight to employ people against the government. But hey, it works on one instance. This is Florida. DeSantis says, say, hey, you can go to work in this state. I hear people in the Northeast, that they cannot work and have told not go outside. Even Vermont, you had to wear a mask inside. All that crazy nonsense. But unemployment up there is like 3 times the amount that we're getting down here in Florida.
True, and part of it is because we're self-funded, number one. Number two, the unemployment was set to be a temporary relief, and that's the reason why it's at $275 instead of being $600. I mean, I know in Pennsylvania it's around $600 to $700 a week.
Plus, that's the state, then plus the federal, yeah.
Right. No, I'm talking about just normal unemployment without even the addition of the federal. It was around 6. I mean, it depends how much money you make, but I believe the max was like $650 per week.
Gotcha. Well, ladies and gentlemen, look, the time has went by so fast once again. If you have any questions about tonight's topics, please reach out, message, inbox. We'll add some links below. Hey, thanks for tuning in one last time.
Thank you for tuning in to ttalks.net. If you have any questions, comments, or something you want us to talk about, email us at raphael@ttalks.net or comment below. Please follow us on YouTube at ttalksnet and Facebook at ttalksnet. Please rate us and don't forget that sharing is caring. Thank you for your support. Till next time, we will T-Talk later.
Well, once again, thank you for tuning in to Tea Talks tonight. It's been another great one. I'm done for the day. You guys have a good one. We'll see you tomorrow. My name's Alex.
And this is Raphael saying good night, goodbye, sayonara from Hollywood, Florida.
Ouch.